Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am here today for my July wrap-up video. So you know what a benefit of readathons are outside of getting through a lot of books on your TBR pile? It's keeping all of your wrap-up videos to a much shorter length because I can just link my other wrap-up videos to my readathon so that this video will not be like 5,000 minutes long. Because I read a lot this month. I read 14 books, and a big part of that is in thanks to 2 different readathons that I participate in. So I'm going to leave my wrap up for the Biannual Bibliathon that I participated in, and then a week after that I did the Booktubeathon. So both of those videos will be linked down below. So if you are interested in hearing my thoughts on even more books that I read this month, I believe there's at least 8 in those 2 videos, I think, that I'm not going to talk about in this video for the sake of your patience and time and attention span and the length of this video. So those will be linked down below. So going back to the very first day of July, I started Going Bovine by Libba Bray. I love Libba Bray, but over the course of reading this book, I have learned that as much as I respect her writing style, I do not always click with it. Her writing style is very bizarre. It's very Andrew Smith-esque, as in it's just kind of weird and you just kind of have to go with it, which in some of her books I loved. This one, not so much. I gave this like 2 stars. I actually had a really hard time getting through this. This was one of those books where I could see the potential in it, and at the time that it came out, I could kind of see where this was like a revolutionary type of writing style, but in this day and age, I just didn't really click with it. I know it's won awards, I know a lot of people love it, I personally just wanted to finish it. In case you're curious, this book is about a boy who is just trying to get through regular high school life when he finds out that he pretty much has the human version of mad cow disease, and the like weird journey that he goes on kind of in his mind that teaches him what life is like and how to accept death and living life to its fullest. I could see where the book was going, I can see how people can appreciate it, but I just didn't click with it. So for that reason, I gave it 2 stars. And then I read A Clockwork Scarab by Colleen Gleason, The Fortune Hunter by Daisy Goodwin, and Highly Illogical Behavior by John Corey Whaley. If you want to hear my thoughts on those 3 books, they will be in the Biannual Bibliathon wrap-up. And that's as far as I got with that readathon. So it was not super successful, but it's 3 books that I'm not going to talk about in this video. The next book that I got to is probably my favorite one of the month, and that is Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuval. I have been anticipating this book since it was announced like last year. This book was phenomenal. It was amazing, and it was everything that I dreamed it would be. This book is very strange. The prologue is about a girl who is riding her bike through the forest and falls into a huge crater in the ground and lands in the palm of a huge metal hand. Fast forward like 20 years into the future, she is a scientist who has, through a weird series of events, been put on the project to research this giant metal hand and what it could be and how it's going to impact the human race once they discover that it is not man-made and that there are other body parts scattered throughout the world that they are accumulating to put together into a huge, giant robot. It was amazing. It was everything like a thriller sci-fi adult read should be, and then some. It just brought in so many interesting topics about how society would actually react to that and how the governments of all the different countries would react to it, and how mankind and religion and governments would react to the concept of life outside of Earth and the threat that it could pose. It was just so good, and it's the first of a series, which I did not know. But now I know, and I'm actually really excited that's going to continue on. I just highly, highly recommend this book. If that at all sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. It's also very reminiscent of Illuminae. It's told through like debriefing reports, which is kind of a really interesting take on it, and it makes the story flow really quickly. So all in all, amazing, 5 stars, loved it. The next 5 books that I read were The Life of Pi, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, The Outliers by Kimberly McCreet, With Love from the Inside by Angela Pissel, which was an advanced e-galley that I got a copy of, and Gemini by Sonia Mukherjee. These books will be linked in my Booktubeathon wrap-up video if you're curious on hearing my thoughts about these. 2 of them were advanced copies, so I have reviews for those in that. So those will be linked in that video down below. The next 3 books that I got to, you're gonna be excited and proud of me. They were these 3. Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Air of Fire. I'm kind of cheating because I'm only halfway through Air of Fire right now, but I'm recording this like 2 days before the end of the month, and I have nothing else to do this weekend, so I guarantee that by the time you're seeing this, I will be at least done this, and probably done Queen of Shadows, to be completely honest. But I figured it would be safe to put just this one in there. I think I'm gonna do a video about Sarah J. Maas's books as a whole, so I'm not gonna like get really extensive into my thoughts on all of these. Throne of Glass, I read it. I had no idea what y'all were talking about, because I'm gonna be honest, Throne of Glass was not that good. I did not really think that it was amazing. But everybody said give it to the second book, so I gave it to the second book. So this one, I still was just kind of like, it's better, the writing's getting there. It wasn't until I was halfway through Crown of Midnight that I was like, oh, I get it now. I'm well on my way through this one. I get it, guys. I get the hype now. I still think that I like the ACOTAR and Akabaf series better. I just think that she started out at a higher level of writing and it's just progressing further. This one, I think she was at that level of writing around halfway through this book. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about these books in this video. I think I am going to do at least a like series review of Throne of Glass, if not include all of her books in it. But those are my thoughts currently right now. It's improving. I've gone from like 3 stars to 4 stars to this one's probably gonna be 5 stars, so it's just getting better. And the last book that I got to this month was The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, I started this during Booktubeathon. I did not finish it. I was kind of struggling to get through it. I probably would have DNF'd this book like 4 different times if it weren't for the fact that it was the only audiobook that I had available to listen to. So if you can't tell, I clearly didn't really care for this book. I know that this book is very recommended, it's very praised by a lot of people, and everybody's throwing it out there as a really good example of the like modern mystery adult thriller book. I did not get that. I just didn't relate to the characters. I personally don't really like reading about a character who doesn't really improve throughout the story. I just can't really relate to a really sad, failing marriage, drunk, alcoholic character. So for that reason, it was very hard for me to get through this. I just listened to it to listen to it. So I gave this 2 stars. I mean, yeah, that's it, sorry. So that was a fairly quick wrap-up for having read 14 books this month. Thank God for having multiple readathon wrap-ups to be able to link for you guys. In case you guys didn't know, I actually do really in-depth written reviews on Goodreads if you want to go add me on there or follow my reviews. Because I try and keep these little descriptions really short and brief so that it's not a very long video and it doesn't spoil much of the story, but I do actually get really in-depth on Goodreads. So I always leave that linked down below. Feel free to add me. I add pretty much everyone, and I use that as like my main platform for like serious reviews versus this where it's just kind of a brief wrap-up at the end of every month. So I just wanted to throw that out there just in case you were curious about more of my thoughts. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I hope you guys check out the other videos because there's more where this came from. And I hope you are reading some amazing books, and I'll see you guys in my next video.